Hey everyone! My name's Lynette, and today I'm excited to take you on a flip through of my traveler's notebook from my recent trip to Japan. It was a 7-day trip at the end of this summer, and as you can see here, I got my hands on the Kyoto Special Edition cover from the Traveler's Factory in Kyoto. The insert I'm using for the scrapbook is the one from Tokyo Station, which I will share my experience in both stores respectively later on. Throughout this trip, I was struck with the Japanese concept of kodawari, where every detail is pursued with the utmost care, evident in everything from their food culture, road signs, even to pothole cover designs. It inspired me to apply this dedication to my journal here, which I hope will be evident in the pages. We spent most of day one traveling, but we made it just in time for a delicious yakitori dinner. We then headed back to our Airbnb, unpacked, chatted, and shared our camera lineup that we plan to use during the trip. The next day, we went on a stationery adventure, starting at Itoya, which was an entire building dedicated to stationery. However, I find it not as charming as the next two spots, Traveler's Factory in Tokyo Station and Loft in Shibuya. At Loft, I got this super cute onigiri sticker here, and at Traveler's Factory, I picked up a half passport refill so I could participate in what would become an ongoing theme in this trip, station stamp hunting. We sealed the day off with the best sushi in this whole trip at an unassuming standing sushi shop tucked under a train track crossing Chiyoda City. I usually felt ambivalent towards sea bream, but this shop changed my mind. It has a simple, fresh taste of mild sweetness like the hotate, but with a softer texture that melts into your mouth. When I closed my eyes, I wasn't kidding, I thought I saw heaven. The main reason for this trip though was to catch the Magical Mirai concert in Tokyo. Before this concert, my only knowledge of Miku was a sign-hair character that a creepy guy decided to marry in real life. What I did not understand was the charm until this concert, and it's amazing how you can use synth to generate voices, and how it's able to cultivate such a loyal and big fan base. Despite not being a Miku fan at the end of the day, two songs echoed in my head repeatedly as I closed my eyes to sleep that night: Meteor and Last Night, Good Night. The next day was a slow-paced day traveling to our next stop, Osaka. One of the most unique food experiences to do in Japan is getting a bento meal on the JR Express. It never fails to surprise me how delicious and well-presented the food can be for a takeout meal. After a while, we got off Shinosaga Station and dragged our luggage to our next Airbnb through a breathtaking, winding sidewalk. We walked with a gentle wind in our hair, which was a great relief from the oven-baked weather, and the late afternoon sun cast an iridescent, milky glow onto the streets. Before dinner, we played some gacha at Nippon Bashi. My happiest of the loot was the Kagome fruit juice box, the drink to get whenever I stopped by a 7-Eleven or Lawson. It was a Sunday the next day at Universal Studios Japan. You could fry an egg under the sun that day, and the double whammy was that we forgot our umbrellas. Thankfully for the express passes, we were able to save a few hours of queuing. We went on the Mario Koopa's Challenge, Donkey Kong's Minecart Madness, Hogwarts' Forbidden Journey, and the most thrilling of all, Jurassic Park's Flying Dinosaur. Adrenaline spent, we recuperated by going on a slow day trip to Uji in Kyoto the next day. I was actually very excited because it meant a whole day of matcha, and even more matcha. We got a late lunch at a restaurant serving Nishin matcha soba overlooking the Uji River. Then we just walked around Ujigami Shrine taking photos, and at night, we visited Kyoto's Traveler's Factory where I bought my current TN cover. The Kyoto's Traveler's Factory was a lot more spacious than Tokyo's, but just as cozy. There There was a weighing machine at the center of the store disguised as a telephone booth, where you could get a card with your weight stamped behind it as a souvenir. We had an amazing sushi experience in Kyoto Station and then headed back to Osaka. I thought the night was over, but it turns out the night was just about to begin. Cameras in hand, we were off in an impromptu photo walk in Namba, composing shot after shot of the neon-cast streets. After a while, we got bored of shooting the streets and had the ingenious idea of playing out some K-pop moments to shoot. And like the nights before, we ended our day with more scrapbooking. Remember how I mentioned stationery stamp hunting? Most major stations in Japan have a stamp booth tucked away in a corner somewhere. At this point in our trip, it became instinctual to look for them when we get off the train. The last day in Osaka went by idly. We went to get ramen and did some shopping at some underground malls and back at Loft once again. Let's not forget to make one last trip to 7-Eleven so that we can savor matcha for the very last time and say goodbye to Chikawa. After a night of journaling and heart-to-heart talk, we left our Airbnb at 6:30 a.m. the next day to catch our flight at Kansai Airport. We transited at Changi Airport in Singapore, and soon enough, I'm on my way home with a heart full of joy and sweet memories. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Keep on traveling, keep on journaling, and I'll see you in the next one.